The United States has formally commended William Ruto for condemning recent Iranian attacks across the Middle East as tensions involving Iran, Israel, and the United States continue to escalate. The praise came during the direct phone call between President Ruto and the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio on March 23rd, signaling Kenya's rising diplomatic visibility at a time of heightened global uncertainty. The conversation between Nairobi and Washington highlights a significant moment in Kenya's foreign policy positioning. According to official communication, Secretary Rubio expressed appreciation for Ruto's clear and public condemnation of what the United States describes as Iranian aggression targeting multiple Gulf states. This recognition places Kenya among a group of nations taking a defined stance on the conflict that is rapidly expanding beyond its initial boundaries. The Middle East is once again at a critical crossroads. The recent developments have seen Iran accused of launching attacks across a wide regional footprint, and these include reported strikes or threats affecting the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Oman, Kuwait, Jordan, and also Bahrain. President Ruto in an earlier statement issued on March 2nd warned that such actions risk widening the conflict and undermining the global stability. He described the situation as defining and perilous moment in the global history. At the core of the Kenya's position is a call for restraint. The president emphasized the need for urgent, coordinated, multi-stakeholder engagement aimed at de-escalation. He pointed to the multilateral institutions as critical frameworks for resolving the crisis, institutions that, in his view, remain essential even as geopolitical tensions rise. This measured tone appears to have resonated in Washington, and during the call, discussions extended beyond diplomatic acknowledgement, and Secretary Rubio and President Ruto also addressed what the United States termed as Operation Epic Fury, a joint US and Israel operation linked to the current standoff with Iran. While specific operational details remain limited, the conversation focused on the stated objectives of the mission, and these include addressing security threats and also attempting to contain further escalation in the region. This exchange reflects a broader alignment, at least diplomatically, between Kenya and the United States on matters of internal security, but the implications go beyond words. Kenya's voice is increasingly being recognized on the global stage, particularly in matters of peacekeeping and conflict response. During the same call, the United States acknowledged Kenya's ongoing contribution to the international peace efforts, and this includes its involvement in the multinational security mission in Haiti. And Kenya has played a leading role in efforts aimed at stabilizing the Caribbean Ocean, and also which has faced prolonged periods of unrest and gang violence. Washington also recognized Kenya's commitment to ensuring smooth transition in the gang suppression force in Haiti, and this acknowledgement reinforces Kenya's image as a reliable partner in global security operations. At the time when many nations are reassessing their international roles, Kenya's participation in such missions signals both capability and intent. The diplomatic engagement between President Ruto and Secretary Rubio is also touched on economic matters. Both sides explored opportunities for expanding commercial ties, and this includes strengthening trade relations and also enhancing economic cooperation. The two leaders reaffirmed the intention to deepen the long-standing partnership between Kenya and the United States. This partnership spans multiple sectors, including security, trade, and also diplomacy. The timing of the call is significant. It comes amid a rapidly evolving crisis in the Middle East, where economic and security concerns are closely intertwined. One of the most critical developments has been Iran's decision to close the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway is one of the world's most important oil transit routes, and a significant portion of global oil and gas supplies passes through it. Any disruption in this corridor has immediate and far-reaching consequences for global energy markets. The closure has raised concerns about potential supply shortages and also rising fuel prices. For countries around the world, including those in Africa, the impact could be felt in an increased cost of living and economic pressure. The situation has also drawn strong reactions from global powers. The former US President, or rather the US President Donald Trump, had earlier issued a warning to Iran, threatening military action against key facilities if the strait was not reopened within 48 hours. However, the threat was later withdrawn following what was described as a successful discussions with the Iranian authorities. This shift underscores the fluid nature of the crisis. Diplomacy and military posturing are unfolding simultaneously, with outcomes that remain uncertain. And in this complex environment, Kenya's position reflects a balancing act. On one hand, it aligns with the calls for accountability and the condemnation of aggression. On the other, it emphasizes dialogue and multilateral engagement. And this dual approach mirrors broader international efforts to prevent further escalation while maintaining pressure for resolution. For ordinary citizens, the stakes are high, and the conflicts in distant regions often have local consequences. Energy prices, supply chains, and the global markets are all interconnected. A disruption in one part of the world can ripple across continents. Kenya, like many nations, remain vulnerable to such shocks. At the same time, its growing diplomatic engagement offers an opportunity by participating actively in global discussions, and Kenya's positioning itself not just as a regional player, but as a voice of international matters. The recognition from the United States adds weight to the position. It signals trust, alignment, and willingness to collaborate on issues that extend far beyond national borders. As the Middle East crisis continues to evolve, the role of international partnerships will remain critical, and countries will need to navigate complex alliances, economic pressures, and also security concerns. For Kenya, the path forward will likely involve in continued engagement, careful diplomacy, and a commitment to stability. In a world facing rising tension and uncertain outcomes, Kenya's voice is being heard, steady, measured, and also increasingly influential on the global stage. That is all for today from Kenya Lens Media, where we bring you news updates as they break. And kindly, if you are new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing our video and contents as a way of motivating us and also supporting this platform grow. Here is where you get these contents from Kenya and beyond.